My son-in-law called me broke in front of 20 people in the lobby of his investment firm. "You can't even afford parking here, can you?" he said, loud enough for his colleagues to hear. His hand on my shoulder felt like pity, like ownership. I'd given him everything, paid for his honeymoon, covered dinners I couldn't afford, smiled through every insult because I loved my daughter, and I wanted her marriage to work. But standing there in that marble lobby with strangers' eyes on me, I didn't argue. I didn't defend myself. I just smiled and thought about the 3 documents in my safety deposit box. Then I heard footsteps behind me, expensive shoes on marble, a voice I knew well. "Mr. Chairman," the CEO said, extending his hand, "welcome back." My son-in-law's face went white, because the man he'd just called broke owned the building we were standing in. "Before we continue, let me know where you're watching from and what time it is there. I'm curious who's listening to this story. My name is Christian Harris. I'm 70 now, retired. But back then I was chairman of Brennan and Harris Capital, one of the largest investment firms on the East Coast. Let me take you back to where this started. I was born in 1953. My father worked in a factory. 42 years, same assembly line. We lived in a 2-bedroom apartment in Queens. 3 kids, 1 bathroom, no complaints. I got a scholarship to State College. Studied economics because I was good with numbers. My first job was in 1983. Junior analyst at a small firm downtown. They paid me $22,500 a year. I thought I was rich. I learned fast, stayed late, asked questions. I built my reputation on one thing, integrity. In 1987, a senior trader offered me insider information on a merger. "Easy money," he said. I reported him instead. He got fired. I got his job. That decision defined my career. 32 years later, I was chairman. Not because I was the smartest, because people trusted me. I never forgot where I came from. I built something I was proud of. Then I almost lost it all. Not to the market, not to a competitor, to cancer. My wife, Ellen, died when our daughter, Rebecca, was 8. Ovarian cancer, stage 4. We had 6 months from diagnosis to goodbye. 6 months to explain to a little girl why her mother was disappearing. I remember the hospital room, cold floors, antiseptic smell, Rebecca's small hand in mine, so tight my fingers went numb. "Daddy, is Mommy going to get better?" I couldn't lie to her. "No, sweetheart, she's not." That hand, that trust. I swore I'd never let her down. After Ellen died, it was just us, Rebecca, and me against the world. I taught her everything Ellen would have wanted. Be kind to people who serve you. Tip well. Say thank you. Value substance over show, character over credentials. She grew up in boardrooms and food banks. I'd take her to work sometimes, let her see the trading floor. Then we'd volunteer at the shelter on weekends. I wanted her to see both worlds, to understand that money is a tool, not a measure of worth. When she turned 18, she had a choice. I could set her up in finance. Guaranteed position, 6-figure starting salary, corner office by 30. She chose social work. "Dad, I want to help people," she said. "Real people, not portfolios." I was so damn proud. By 33, she was running a nonprofit program for domestic violence survivors. She made $48,000 a year and came home exhausted every night, telling me about the woman she'd helped find housing, the child she'd gotten into a good school. She was everything Ellen and I had hoped she'd be. Then she met Marcus Montgomery, 34 years old, senior associate at Brennan and Harris Capital, my firm, though I didn't mention that detail when Rebecca first introduced us. He had the resume, Wharton, MBA. Father was Gerald Montgomery, hedge fund manager, old Connecticut money. Marcus wore $1,000 suits and talked about wealth optimization strategies at dinner. First meal together, he asked me what I did. "I'm retired," I said. "Did some consulting work, financial services." "Oh." That pause, that slight eyebrow raise. "Which firm?" "Small boutique. You wouldn't know it." He smiled, moved on, asked Rebecca how she afforded her apartment on a nonprofit salary. She laughed it off. I didn't. No offense, Rebecca, but social work is more hobby than career, right? I mean, it's noble, but it's not exactly building wealth. She stiffened. It builds something more important than wealth. Of course. I just mean long term. You'll want financial security. Kids, house, retirement. That takes real income. I watched her face. Watched her try to defend her life's work to a man who just called it a hobby. I made a decision that night. I wouldn't tell him who I was. I'd let him show me who he was. I told myself I was being paranoid. I wasn't. 6 months later, they got engaged. I smiled, hugged them both, told them I was happy. Then I set up my test. I was 67, the firm's mandatory retirement age for board members. I'd been planning to step back anyway, hand control to my protege, David Brennan. David had been with me for 18 years, brilliant strategist. More importantly, decent human being. We met in my office, 52nd floor, view of the whole city. I'm stepping down, I told him. You're ready. Christian, you built this place. You sure? I'm sure, but I want to keep Chairman Emeritus status. He understood immediately. Emeritus wasn't just ceremonial. It came with observation rights, board access, voice and ethics reviews. Who are you watching? He asked. My son-in-law works here, Marcus Montgomery, senior associate. David's expression didn't change, but I saw the flicker. Marcus is ambitious. That's the polite word. He's talented, good with clients, but there have been complaints. Support staff say he's dismissive, talks down to people he thinks are beneath him. Keep me informed, quietly, always. I signed the retirement papers. Section 8.4 highlighted. Ethics observation rights preserved. 3 people knew I kept that title. Marcus wasn't one of them. The official announcement went out. Christian Harris retires after distinguished career. David Brennan named chairman and CEO. At the engagement party 2 weeks later, Marcus made a toast. To new beginnings, for me and Rebecca, and for the firm under fresh leadership. He looked at me when he said fresh leadership, smiled. I smiled back. I didn't tell Rebecca the full truth. I said I was simplifying my life. Downsizing, focusing on what matters. That part was true. I sold the penthouse publicly, donated the proceeds to charity, Rebecca's charity actually, moved to a modest condo in a quieter neighborhood, nothing fancy. 2 bedrooms, decent kitchen, no doorman. I drove a 16-year-old Honda Accord, bought my clothes at JCPenney, wore the same jacket to family dinners until the elbows got shiny. Marcus noticed. Dad, if you need help with expenses. He'd let that hang there, not offering, just reminding me I might need something from him someday. I'm fine, Marcus. Pension covers everything. Of course, just, if you ever want to upgrade that car, I wanted to see who he really was. I got my answer. But I wasn't stupid. I kept records. I opened safety deposit box number 3156 at Bank of New York. Put 3 folders inside. Folder 1, Chairman Emeritus. Agreement. Complete text, every clause, every right. Section 8.4 underlined 3 times. Folder 2, Board Observation Log. Every meeting I attended, including 2 where Marcus presented quarterly results. His performance was good. His attitude toward junior colleagues was noted. Folder 3, Personal Documentation. This one grew every month. I photographed text messages. Does your dad need money? He's wearing that same jacket again. Marcus to Rebecca. I saved it. I kept dinner receipts. The expensive restaurants he chose, then suggested I pay, since Rebecca deserves nice things. I documented the wedding planning, how he vetoed the venue I suggested because it was too modest for our circle. I wasn't planning revenge. I was planning consequences. The wedding was beautiful. Rebecca glowed. I walked her down the aisle and told her I loved her and wanted her happiness above everything. I meant it. My gift was $12,000, a check, not cash, traceable. It represented 3 months of my consulting pension income as Marcus understood it, a real sacrifice for a man in my supposed position. Marcus opened it at the reception, looked at the amount, looked at me. That's generous, Dad. Really appreciate it. His tone said, "How cute. He's contributing what he can." I overheard him later, talking to his groomsmen at the bar. "Rebecca's dad gave us 12 grand. Sweet gesture." One of them laughed. "That's like, what, a weekend in Positano for you?" "Hey, it's the thought that counts. Old guys on a fixed income." I was standing 15 feet away. He knew I could hear. I stayed quiet. I had a reason. Because Marcus worked at my firm, I was invited to corporate events, holiday parties, client dinners, summer outings. Marcus always introduced me last. "This is Tom from accounting, Lisa from HR, my father-in-law. Christian, right? Rebecca's dad. He's retired." Never my full name, never my background, just Rebecca's dad. At the summer outing, I watched him pitch a new investment strategy to the partners. He was good, confident, sharp. He credited himself with restructuring a cross-department initiative. I'd funded that initiative 3 years earlier, set it up, allocated resources, handed it off to senior management. He didn't know that. The partners approved his promotion track. He was being considered for junior partner, 2-year timeline. I made a note in my observation log. 6 months into the marriage, Marcus was exactly who I'd suspected. The first insult was small. I kept detailed records, not just dates and events. The kind of documentation that would hold up in an ethics review. Every text message, every overheard comment, every slight witnessed by others. 28 separate incidents over 19 months. I used the firm's own protocols. Date, time, location, witnesses when applicable. Factual descriptions, no emotional interpretation. November 3rd, 2023. Family dinner, Maria Restaurant. Marcus stated in front of 4 other diners, "Dad, maybe you should stick to early bird specials." Witness, server Michael Torres, who appeared uncomfortable. January 15th, 2024. Firm holiday party. Marcus introduced me to managing partner Stephen Walsh as just Rebecca's father without mentioning my name. I shook Walsh's hand. He recognized me but said nothing. March 8th, 2024. Marcus texted Rebecca, message forwarded to me by Rebecca. "Does your dad have to come to dinner? His stories about the old days are kind of embarrassing." I photographed everything, saved everything, organized chronologically. The bank vault was cold. I visited every few weeks, added new documents. The folders got thicker. I wasn't collecting evidence for a lawsuit. I was documenting a pattern for an ethics review. There's a difference. Section 8.4 of my emeritus agreement gave me authority to request review of any employee for violations of firm policy. Section 3.19. Professional conduct and dignity standards. I'd written that policy myself in 2005 after a harassment scandal nearly destroyed the firm. It was simple. All employees, clients, and associated parties shall be treated with respect and dignity regardless of position, title, or relationship to the firm. Marcus had violated it 28 times. 28 times that I could prove, but I didn't act yet. I was waiting. Then the first real insult came. Rebecca called on a Thursday. "Dad, want to grab lunch Saturday? Marcus suggested this great new place." I should have known. The restaurant was in Midtown. White tablecloths, sommelier, prices that weren't printed on the menu. Marcus ordered a bottle of wine, $96. I saw him show the sommelier the label, making a show of his knowledge. We ate, talked. Rebecca told me about a client she'd helped get into transitional housing. Her face lit up when she talked about her work. Marcus checked his phone 3 times. The bill came. $285. Marcus looked at it, slid it across the table to me. "You got this, right?" I stared at the leather folder. "Actually, this is a bit steep for Dad," he smiled. Big, friendly, loud enough for nearby tables. "Don't be cheap. Rebecca deserves nice things." 4 tables turned, looked. My face burned hot. My collar felt tight. I reached for my wallet with hands that wanted to shake. Rebecca's hand covered mine. "Marcus, we can split." No, your dad invited us. He's got it." I didn't invite them. Marcus chose the restaurant. I paid. Left a 20% tip because the server had done nothing wrong. Photographed the receipt later. $385 total. When we left, Rebecca whispered, "Dad, I'm so sorry. He's under stress at work." It's fine, sweetheart. The partnership review's coming up. He's just anxious. I told her it was fine. It wasn't. That night, I added the receipt to folder 3. Documented Rebecca's apology. Noted Marcus's volume level, witness count. 29th incident. The second escalation came at Thanksgiving. Gerald Montgomery, Marcus's father, hosted at his estate in Greenwich. 12,000 square feet. Staff. Valet parking. I drove my Honda. The valet looked confused where to put it among the Mercedes and BMWs. Inside, crystal and silver. 18 guests. Marcus's family, their friends, a few of his colleagues from the firm. After dinner, the men gathered in the study. Cognac, leather chairs, talk turned to markets. I was sitting on a folding chair they'd brought in. Not enough room at the main seating area. Gerald was discussing the Fed's rate decision. I had thoughts. I'd lived through 6 Fed chairs, managed portfolios through 4 recessions. The historical pattern suggests... I started. Marcus cut in. Dad, no offense, but you're a bit out of your depth here. Gerald laughed. Not mean, just dismissive. Different era now, Gerald said. Algorithmic trading, derivative strategies. It's not your father's market anymore, Christian? He meant it kindly. Patronizing, but kind. 8 men in that room. All of them nodded. Moved on. I sat in my folding chair. Said nothing. Marcus's colleague from the firm, James something, junior partner, looked at me. His eyes said, I know who you are. He said nothing either. Later, as people were leaving, I overheard Marcus talking to James by the door. Thanks for coming. Sorry about the family dynamics. Your father-in-law seems nice. Yeah, he's a good guy. Just, fixed income, different generation. We take care of him. I was standing in the hallway, 10 feet away. Coat already on. Marcus saw me, smiled, waved. I smiled. I nodded. I documented. 30th incident. Rebecca's 33rd birthday was April 12th. Marcus planned a surprise dinner. He called me the day before. It's at 11 Madison Park. 8 people. I'm covering everyone, but I wanted you there. That's generous, Marcus. Yeah, well, special occasion. Dress nice, okay? I wore my best outfit. 10-year-old blazer, pressed khakis, clean shoes. We arrived. The restaurant was elegant, quiet, expensive in a way that didn't announce itself. Marcus gave Rebecca a Cartier box. She opened it. Diamond bracelet. Delicate. Beautiful. Marcus, this is too much. 18,000. You deserve it. She cried. Happy tears. Put it on. My turn. I handed her a wrapped package. Flat. Square. She opened it carefully. Pulled out a photo album. Leather-bound. Handmade. I'd spent 2 months on it. Pictures from her childhood. Ellen holding newborn Rebecca. Rebecca's first day of school. Dance recitals. College graduation. Every major moment. Organized chronologically with captions in my handwriting. Dad. Her voice broke. This is beautiful. She hugged me. Held on. Marcus glanced at the album. How sentimental. Dull. One of the guests, Marcus's colleague, I didn't catch her name, said, That's so thoughtful. Marcus's eye roll was quick, but I saw it. So did 3 other people at the table. Later, Marcus announced, I covered Dad's meal too, fixed income, Said it kindly, generously, like I was a charity case. My hands shook when I cut my steak. The knife felt heavy. The wrapping paper from my gift looked suddenly cheap next to the Cartier box. Rebecca loved the album. She told me that 3 times. That night, she cried. She thought I didn't hear through the apartment walls. 1 week later, the invitation arrived. Marcus texted on a Monday morning. Hey, Dad, want to come see my office Thursday? 2 p.m. Would love to show you where I work. Rebecca called that afternoon. Dad, Marcus wants to give you a tour. Please go. He's trying. Of course, sweetheart. He really respects you. He just has a weird way of showing it sometimes. I didn't correct her. The text that followed had specific instructions. Lobby entrance, 2 p.m. Don't be late. Business casual is fine. There's a coffee shop next door if you arrive early. Business casual. For a man he thought couldn't afford parking. I chose carefully. Khaki pants, fraying slightly at the hem, polo shirt, collar worn, windbreaker from 2008. I brought my old leather portfolio, cracked spine, broken zipper pull. Thursday morning I shaved slowly, steady hands, clear mind. I'd been a competitive chess player in college. I understood patience, the long game, sacrificing pieces to position the king. I knew this building intimately, every floor, every department. I'd chosen the marble for the lobby myself, selected the architect, approved the security system. I'd stood in that lobby 1,000 times as chairman. Today, I'd stand there as Rebecca's dad. I couldn't have predicted what he'd actually say, but I knew it would be revealing. The subway ride downtown took 35 minutes. I didn't call a car. That's not what a man on a fixed income would do. I arrived at 1:58 p.m. The building looked the same. 52 stories, glass and steel. My signature, literally, etched on the cornerstone with the other founders. I walked through the revolving door. The lobby was exactly as I remembered. 3-story atrium, marble floors that echoed footsteps, security desk, visitor sign-in. He looked at me like I was selling insurance. The security guard was new, didn't recognize me. Name and who you're visiting? Christian Harris, here to see Marcus Montgomery. He typed, printed a visitor badge, white plastic, temporary. Badge number 5923. Expiration, 5:02 p.m. same day. I clipped it to my windbreaker. The guard gestured to the waiting area. Leather benches I'd selected in 1998. I sat, watched. Employees crossed the lobby. Young, confident, expensive suits. Some of them I'd hired. Most of them didn't know my face anymore. I'd kept a low profile my last 5 years, letting David run daily operations. The elevator banked to my right, executive access, key card only. I'd ridden those elevators 10,000 times. Today I sat in the visitor area. Marcus arrived at 2:18, 15 minutes late. No apology. Hey, Dad, ready for the tour? He was in a Tom Ford suit, Hermes tie, hair perfect. I stood, extended my hand. Thanks for inviting me. His handshake was brief, already turning. We'll start with the trading floor. I think you'll find it impressive. I followed him to the public elevators. We rode to 12. The trading floor hummed. Monitors, voices, energy. I designed the layout in 1995. Positioned desks for optimal communication flow. Installed the technology infrastructure. Marcus explained, this is where the big money moves. Real-time trading, algorithmic models. It's pretty complex stuff. I nodded, said nothing. A colleague passed. Marcus flagged her down. Stephanie, this is my father-in-law, Rebecca's dad, visiting from retirement. That pause. That specific pause before retirement. Stephanie smiled. Professional. Nice to meet you. Then we went back to the lobby. That's where it happened. Marcus led me around the perimeter, showed me the conference rooms, where we closed major deals, and the cafe. Subsidized for employees. Pretty nice. I asked simple questions, played the role. How many people work here? About 300 in this building. I manage relationships with 12 key clients. About 80 million in assets under management. He said it casually, but he was watching for my reaction. I bobbed him impressed. That's substantial. Yeah, I've done well for myself. The partnership review is coming up. I'm expected to make junior partner by end of year. We passed the trading floor viewing window. I'd installed that window so visitors could see the action without disrupting workflow. Marcus to his colleague passing by. My father-in-law just visiting from the suburbs. Not Christian, not my name, just father-in-law. 12 people passed us during that tour. 4 stopped to chat with Marcus, ask about Rebecca, be polite. Each time, Rebecca's dad, he's visiting for the afternoon. We returned to the lobby at 4:30. Shift change. The lobby filled with employees leaving, visitors arriving, delivery people navigating carts. 25, maybe 30 people in that space. Marcus's 3 colleagues approached. Young, mid-30s, carrying themselves like the future partners they hope to be. Marcus, heading out? Yeah, just finishing up. Guys, this is Rebecca's dad, Christian. Visiting from retirement. Introductions. Handshakes. One colleague, Ryan, his name tag said, asked, What brings you downtown? Marcus answered for me. His jaw ached from forced smiling. Oh, he doesn't come here often. Can't really afford the parking. He says it loud, projects it. The lobby's marble walls catch sound, amplify it. His voice bounces, reaches. People turn, not obviously, just awareness shifts. I stand still. My portfolio hangs from my right hand, worn leather, broken zipper. I can feel its weight. Ryan, the colleague, gives an uncomfortable laugh. Not mean, just filling the silence. Marcus continues. He's on a roll now. Actually, Dad, you should probably head out soon. Street parking is free after 6 if you want to wait around. Or... He pauses, smiles. There's a bus stop right outside, express line. I open my mouth. I'll manage, Marcus. It's fine, really. I know you're on a fixed income. He turns to his colleagues. Retirement, you know. Different generation. They didn't have the investment opportunities we have now. His hand lands on my shoulder. Squeezes, it's the squeeze that does it. The gentle, pitying pressure. Like he's helping me. Like he's being generous. My body freezes. Heat rises from my chest to my face. My fists clench inside my windbreaker pockets. The badge, number 5923, guest, expiration, 5:00 p.m., feels suddenly heavy on my chest. 32 years. I built this place for 32 years. The marble floor is cold through my old shoes. The air conditioning raises goosebumps on my arms. Someone's cologne, expensive, woody, drifts past. A woman near the security desk shakes her head, subtle, disapproving. The security guard, James Mitchell, I hired him 5 years ago, shifts his weight. Uncomfortable. Nobody speaks. Nobody helps. 20 people watch. I open my mouth to speak. Then I hear footsteps. The footsteps come from behind me, from the executive elevator bank. Expensive leather shoes on marble. Distinct sound. I know that sound. Marcus is still talking. Really, Dad, I can call you a lift if... Mr. Chairman... The voice cuts through. Clear, respectful, certain. David Brennan's voice. I turn. David stands 3 feet away, flanked by 2 board members. Patricia Whitmore on his left, Stephen Walsh on his right. They're in suits, clearly coming from a meeting. David's hand extends. His face shows genuine surprise. I didn't know you were visiting today. I shake his hand. Hello, David. Just a brief stop. If I'd known, we would have prepared the boardroom. His tone is warm, professional. Are you here for the Thursday observation session? Behind me, I hear Marcus's breath catch. No, personal visit. My son-in-law works here. David's eyes shift past me. Find Marcus. Recognition dawns. He extends his hand to Marcus. Marcus Montgomery. We met briefly at the summer outing. You're up for partnership review, correct? Marcus's hand trembles when they shake. Yes, sir. Yes. Patricia Whitmore steps forward. She was in the lobby earlier. 20 feet away. She saw the whole thing. Christian, she says, warm smile. Good to see you. How's the coastal house? Peaceful. Quiet. I'm adjusting. Stephen Walsh. We miss your presence at full board meetings. The emeritus observations don't happen often enough. The lobby has gone silent. The 30 people who were moving, talking, existing, frozen. Marcus's colleagues step back, literally, physically step back from Marcus. Ryan's face has gone pale. He's putting pieces together. I can feel Marcus beside me. His body radiates panic, heat, fear. David looks at me. His eyes ask a question. I give the smallest nod. He understands. Marcus tries to speak. Mr. Brennan, I don't let him finish. We'll talk next week's observation session, I say to David. Casual, calm. David nods. Tuesday, 10 a.m., I'll have the files ready. Perfect. I turn to Marcus, look at him directly. Thank you for the tour, son. The word lands. Son, not affectionate, not warm, formal, final. I turn, walk toward the exit. My old shoes echo on the marble I chose 26 years ago. Behind me, silence. Then whispers. I don't look back. I walk at normal pace, not rushing, not fleeing. I reach the security desk. Thank you, James. I remove the visitor badge, place it on the counter. James Mitchell looks at me, really looks. Recognition finally registers. Always good to see you, sir. I push through the revolving door. Outside air hits my face. Cool. April evening. Traffic sounds, car horns, the city moving. I walk. Don't call a car. Don't take the subway immediately. I walk 12 blocks before I let myself feel it. My hands start shaking around block 7. Not from fear. From the held tension finally releasing. By block 9, my phone starts ringing. I pull it out. Marcus's name. I decline. It rings again. Marcus. Decline. Again. Rebecca. I stare at her name. My thumb hovers. Not yet. Not while I'm still processing. Decline. The phone buzzes continuously after that. Texts, calls, voicemails piling up. By the time I reach the subway station at block 12, my phone shows 63 missed calls. 39 from Marcus. 24 from Rebecca. Unknown numbers. I silence the phone. Descend into the subway. That night my phone rang 63 times. I didn't answer once. I got home at 6:45 p.m. My condo. 2 bedrooms. Modest. The place Marcus thought was all I could afford. I set my keys in the bowl by the door, hung my windbreaker on the hook, took off my shoes. My hands still shook slightly. I made tea. Earl Grey. Let it steep while I stood at the window. City lights spread below. Traffic patterns I'd watched for 3 years since moving here. The tea cooled while I stood there. My phone sat on the counter. Screen dark now. 63 missed calls. 47 text messages. I didn't read them. I listened to one voicemail. Rebecca's voice, crying. Dad, what happened? He's saying there's a mistake? He's saying you... Dad, please call me, please. I don't understand what's happening. Her voice cracked on, please. My chest tightened. Physical pain. Real pressure. I taught her to value character. Did I fail? The tea had gone cold. I poured it out. Made fresh. This time I drank it. Then I made 3 phone calls that night. I pulled out the 3 files from my portfolio. I'd brought them home from the bank that morning. Somehow I'd known. The folders sat on my kitchen table. Manila, labeled in my handwriting. Time to use them. First call, David Brennan, 9:52 p.m. He answered immediately. Christian, I'm invoking observation rights under Section 8.4, Marcus Montgomery's partnership review. I want it moved up, and I want to be present. Silence for 3 seconds. Understood. I'll pull his complete file tonight. Patricia Whitmore was in the lobby. She saw the whole thing. I know. She told me. She's prepared to provide a statement. How fast can you schedule the review? HR policy requires 10 days notice to the employee. I can move his review from next month to next week. Friday. Do it. Christian, are you sure you want to be in the room? I'm sure. Okay. I'll send the formal notification tomorrow morning. Copied to the Board Observation Committee. Your name will be listed. Good. For what it's worth. I'm sorry you had to experience that. It wasn't the first time, David. It was just the first time you saw it. I hung up. Second call, Linda Morrison, my attorney. 10:20 p.m. Christian, it's late. I need you to review documentation. Ethics clause violation, I'm sending you 52 pages. What kind of violations? Dignity and respect policy, pattern of behavior over 19 months, 28 documented incidents. Against whom? Against me, by my son-in-law. Pause. Oh. I'll have preliminary assessment by morning. You'll have it by 8 a.m. Christian, what do you need from me? Legal cover. Make sure I'm doing this right. You always do. Third call, Rebecca. 11:08 p.m. She answered before the first ring finished. Dad, sweetheart, I need you to trust me. Trust you? Dad, what Marcus is saying? He's saying you're the chairman? That you own the company? That you've been lying to us? I haven't been lying. I've been retired. But yes, I was chairman. I built that firm. Silence. Then, why didn't you tell me? Tell him? I wanted to know who he was, not who he'd be if he knew I had money and power, who he actually was. And you set him up? You tested him? No, I gave him 19 months to treat me with basic respect. He failed every test by himself. Her breathing was shaky. Crying. "He's my husband, Dad." "I know. You're trying to destroy his career." "No, I'm trying to hold him accountable for how he treats people. Anyone, not just me. There are complaints from other employees, Rebecca. He has a pattern." I can't. I love you. More than anything. But what he did today, what he's been doing, it's wrong. You know it's wrong. He's under stress. The partnership. Stress doesn't excuse cruelty. You taught me that. Remember? When you were working with abuse survivors, you told me stress reveals character. It doesn't create it. Silence. "I'm sorry," I said. "I'm so sorry this hurts you. I have to go." "Rebecca," the line went dead. She hung up. She didn't call back. But I wasn't done. Not yet. Midnight to 3 a.m., my kitchen table, laptop open, documents spread. I organized everything chronologically. Built the narrative. Incident number 1, November 3rd, 2023. Lunch at Maria. Marcus's comment about early bird specials in front of 4 witnesses. Receipt, $385. Incident number 2, November 24th, 2023. Thanksgiving at Montgomery Estate. Marcus cut me off mid-sentence, stated I was out of my depth. 8 witnesses. Incident number 39, wedding planning phase. 7 separate occasions where Marcus dismissed my suggestions, made comments about my financial limitations, seated me in less prominent positions. I documented his text messages to Rebecca. Screenshots, dates, full context. "Does your dad have to come to dinner tonight? His stories are kind of embarrassing." "Can you tell your dad to dress better for the engagement party? My colleagues will be there." "I covered your dad's meal again. I know you worry about him." Financial manipulation documented 9 occasions over 19 months where Marcus chose expensive venues, then engineered situations where I'd be pressured to pay or be publicly revealed as unable to afford it. Professional misrepresentation. Marcus claimed credit for the cross-departmental investment initiative in his Q3 presentation. I pulled the original documentation. I'd funded and structured that initiative in 2021. His name appeared nowhere in the founding documents. Ethics angle. Firm policy. Section 3.9, Professional Conduct and Dignity Standards. I'd written that policy in 2005. All employees, clients, and associated parties shall be treated with respect and dignity, regardless of position, title, or relationship to the firm. 28 violations, video evidence from lobby security footage, audio captured, Patricia Whitmore's witness statement, emailed at 11:30 p.m. I observed the complete interaction. Mr. Montgomery's behavior was inappropriate and dismissive. By 3 a.m., I had 52 pages. By dawn, I had 52 pages. By 9 a.m., the board had them too. Morning came, so did the consequences. 9:52 a.m. Firm-wide email from Human Resources. Subject: Partnership Review. Schedule update. Due to board calendar adjustments, the following reviews have been rescheduled. Montgomery Marcus, Senior Associate, moved from May 15th to April 26th. CC Board Observation Committee, Partnership Review Panel, Board Observers for this session, D. Brennan, Chair, P. Whitmore, C. Harris, Chairman Emeritus. Marcus was at his desk when the email arrived. I wasn't there, but David told me later what happened. Marcus's office mate watched him read it, watched his coffee cup stop halfway to his mouth, watched the color drain. "That's unusual timing," his office mate said. Marcus didn't respond. He pulled up the firm directory, searched. Harris Christian. Position: Chairman Emeritus, Board Observer. Years of service: 1983-2023 Board. Status: Active observation rights, ethics review. Participation: Marcus called David's office. Assistant said Mr. Brennan was unavailable. He emailed David. No response for 6 hours. He called me. Blocked number. He tried 14 more times that day. I was in a meeting. His meeting. Friday, April 26th. 10 o'clock a.m. Conference room, 48th floor. The same room where I'd conducted hundreds of reviews over 32 years. I arrived 15 minutes early. Sat in the observer chair. Back row, side position. Not at the table. That wasn't my role anymore. I brought nothing. No files, no notes. Everything was already in the system. The review panel filed in 8 partners, David at the head, Patricia Whitmore and Stephen Walsh as board representatives, HR director, Margaret Foster. Marcus arrived last. 9:58 a.m. Sweat on his forehead despite the air conditioning. He saw me. His eyes went wide. He looked at David. "Sir, I don't understand why—" David raised a hand. "Mr. Montgomery, please sit. This is your partnership review. We'll explain the process." Marcus sat, kept glancing at me. I looked at him calmly, no expression. David began. "Marcus, you've been with the firm for 6 years. Your performance metrics are strong. Client retention, 93%. Revenue generation above target." Marcus relaxed slightly. "However, partnership requires more than performance. It requires cultural fit, alignment with firm values, treatment of colleagues and associates." Marcus's jaw tightened. Margaret Foster opened her folder. "We've received documentation regarding workplace conduct, anonymous complaints from support staff about dismissive behavior, 3 separate incidents." She slid papers across the table. Marcus's hands shook when he picked them up. Margaret continued. "Additionally, board observer Christian Harris has submitted formal documentation under Section 8.4 Ethics Observation Protocols." Marcus looked at me, real fear now. "David, the documentation covers 19 months, 28 separate incidents. Pattern analysis suggests systematic disrespect toward individuals perceived as having lower status or financial position." Another partner, Jennifer Carlson. "We also have video evidence, lobby security footage from April 18th, 4:34 p.m. timestamp. They played it on the conference room screen. The audio was crystal clear. Marcus's voice, 'Can't really afford the parking. Fixed income? Take the bus.' 22 seconds of footage. Marcus's hand on my shoulder. My frozen posture. The room was silent when it ended. Patricia Whitmore spoke. "I was present in the lobby. I witnessed this interaction personally. I can confirm the video is accurate and complete." Marcus tried to speak. It was a family joke, a misunderstanding. My father-in-law and I, we have this rapport." Stephen Walsh interrupted. "This person you're describing as having rapport is Christian Harris, founder and chairman emeritus of this firm, the man who built this company over 32 years. Marcus's water glass shook when he reached for it. "Jennifer, the concern isn't just this incident. It's the pattern. Support staff complaints match the behavioral profile. You treat people differently, based on perceived status." "David, we take culture seriously here. Partnership means representing firm values, not just generating revenue." Marcus looked at me. "Mr. Harris, if I'd known, I didn't speak. I didn't have to." The silence said everything. David addressed the panel. "Recommendations?" 4 partners spoke, all variations of the same conclusion. Partnership denied pending probationary period and ethics training. Then David looked at me. "Chairman Harris, as observer, you have input." I spoke for the first time. He's young, ambitious, capable of growth. My voice was level, quiet. I don't want his career destroyed. Marcus's head snapped up. Confusion. "I recommend a 2-year probationary period, mandatory ethics training, monthly mentorship with junior staff, public apology to staff, internal only." I paused. "The alternative is immediate termination. I'll leave that to the panel's discretion." David nodded. "The board accepts Chairman Harris's recommendation. Marcus, you have a choice. Accept probation, complete training, demonstrate cultural change, or resign." Marcus stared at the table. I accept probation." "Good. HR will provide details." Dismissed. The panel stood, filed out. I stood, started to leave. Marcus called after me. "Mr. Harris." I turned. "I'm sorry, I didn't know. If I'd known who you were—" "That's the problem, Marcus." I kept my voice neutral. Sad even. Respect shouldn't depend on who someone is. It should be automatic. I left. David walked with me to the elevator. "You offered him mercy." "I offered him a chance to be better. Whether he takes it is up to him. You think he will? No. I was right. I gave him a chance. He threw it away 3 days later. Monday morning, Marcus didn't show up for ethics training orientation. Tuesday, missed again. Wednesday, he sent a firm-wide email. 11:37 a.m. Subject: moving forward. After careful consideration, I've decided to resign from Brennan and Harris Capital, effective immediately. This firm has tremendous talent and potential. Unfortunately, recent events have made it clear that internal politics and nepotism have overshadowed merit-based advancement. I'm grateful for the opportunities I've had here, but I believe my skills and values are better suited to organizations that prioritize performance over relationships. I wish everyone success in their future endeavors. Marcus Montgomery. He never mentioned my name, but everyone knew. David called me. He resigned. I saw. The email was unwise. It's honest. He thinks he's the victim. What do you want me to do? Nothing. He's done it to himself. My phone rang at 2:15 p.m. Rebecca. Dad, what did you do to him? I observed his review. The panel made the decision. I actually recommended leniency. He resigned. His career is over. He chose to resign rather than complete ethics training. He chose to send that email. I didn't make him do any of that. You set him up. You tested him. I gave him every chance to be kind. Every chance. He chose cruelty. Every time. I can't talk to you right now. Rebecca, she hung up. He had one more move. So did I. I signed 3 more documents. Document 1, complete resignation. Chairman Emeritus, status relinquished, effective 30 days. Linda Morrison, my attorney, sat across from me. You're sure? I'm sure. It's time. David will be sorry to lose you entirely. David doesn't need me anymore. He's ready. She notarized my signature. April 30th. Document 2, irrevocable trust. Rebecca Harris as sole beneficiary. Principal, $4.8 million. Professionally managed by Morgan Stanley Wealth Management. Trustee, Linda Morrison. Distribution structure, quarterly distributions for Rebecca's needs. Education, housing, medical, business, investment. One clause, highlighted, spouse exclusion. Marcus Montgomery specifically excluded as beneficiary or co-beneficiary. All distributions shall be made to Rebecca Harris personally, with no access granted to current or future spouses, without explicit written consent of trustee and beneficiary. Another clause, divorce protection. In event of divorce proceedings initiated during first 10 years of trust existence, all distributions shall be held in escrow until final settlement to prevent commingling of assets. Linda read it twice. This is airtight. It has to be. I'm protecting her. From her own husband. From a man who will try to profit from her inheritance. He'll contest. Let him try. You wrote this. It'll hold. Notarized, filed. Document 3. Personal estate revision. Rebecca, primary heir. Trust provisions protecting all assets from marital claim. Charitable bequests, her nonprofit. Literacy programs, 3 other organizations. One provision. In event of surviving in-law at time of death, no access to estate assets without completion of divorce proceedings and final settlement. I signed. Linda witnessed. You're not punishing her, Linda said. No, I'm protecting her from him. I left town the next morning. 6 months passed before she called. I moved to Wilmington, North Carolina. Small house, 3 blocks from the beach. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. Porch facing east for sunrise. I'd bought it 12 years earlier as an investment property. Rented it out for a decade. Now it was mine. The movers came on May 3rd. I didn't have much. Books, clothes, kitchen basics, 1 photo of Rebecca, college graduation, Ellen's smile in her face. I set it on the mantel, only decoration. The first morning I woke at 5:30. Walked to the beach, sand cool under my feet. Waves rhythmic, predictable. No phone calls to return, no board meetings, no emails, just waves. I established routines. Morning walk, coffee at the local shop, reading on the porch. I volunteered at the library, literacy program for adults. My first student was Carlos Rivera, 54, worked as a janitor at the elementary school, wanted to read bedtime stories to his granddaughter. I never learned good, he told me. Always felt stupid. You're not stupid, Carlos. You're here. That's brave. We met twice a week. He progressed slowly. I was patient. By August, he read his first complete book, Where the Wild Things Are. I'm reading to Maria tonight, he said, eyes wet. Thank you. You did the work? I planted a garden, tomatoes, herbs, practical beauty. Attended the Methodist Church, not for religion, for community. Donated to the food bank, anonymous, substantial. This was who I'd wanted to be at retirement. Marcus had accidentally given me permission to truly let go. I didn't hear from Marcus, but I heard about him. David called once a month. Updates. Checking in. Marcus applied to Preston and Associates. They called for references. What did you tell them? The truth. Talented analyst. Performance strong. Cultural fit concerns. They passed. How many firms has he applied to? 8 that I know of. He's gotten 3 interviews. No offers. The finance world is small. Word travels. Son-in-law publicly insulted founding chairman. Makes for memorable gossip. He took a position at a smaller firm, Calmont Partners. Significant salary decrease. Is he doing well there? Too early to tell, but they know his history. He's on short leash. I felt no satisfaction, just sadness. This could have been avoided. Simple respect, basic kindness. Rebecca didn't call. Month 1, I hoped she'd call quickly. Month 2, I accepted it would take time. Month 3, I worried but trusted the process. Month 4, David told me she and Marcus had separated. She's in therapy, processing. She asked me not to tell you, but I thought you should know. Is she okay? She's strong, like her father. Month 5, divorce filed. Month 6, October 14th. Evening. My phone rang. Unknown number. I hesitated. 3 rings before I answered. Dad? Her voice, smaller, tired, real. My chest cracked open. Hi, sweetheart. Silence. Breathing. Can I... She stopped. Started again. Can I visit? Always. Always. We both cried. Didn't hide it. I'll text you the address. Come whenever you're ready. Next weekend? Perfect. I spent that week preparing. Cleaned the house. Bought groceries. Her favorite foods from childhood. Lasagna ingredients. Good coffee. She came. We talked. She understood. Not all of it. Enough. But this isn't about reconciliation. This is about consequences. The finance world talks. David kept me informed, discreetly. Marcus applied to 8 top firms over 6 months. Background checks revealed the story every time. The lobby video had circulated quietly, not publicly, but HR departments share information. Cultural liability. Talented but difficult. These phrases appeared in reference checks. He landed at Calmont Partners. Smaller firm. Regional presence. Salary roughly 60% of what he'd made at Brennan and Harris. His LinkedIn became active. Defensive posts about merit-based culture and politics in corporate advancement. Poor reception. He deleted them. 3 times Marcus tried to contact me through intermediaries. First attempt, a partner from his new firm called Linda Morrison. Mr. Montgomery would like to speak with Mr. Harris. Apologize personally. Linda. Mr. Harris declines contact. All communication should cease. Second attempt, Marcus's father, Gerald, called David Brennan. This has gone too far. Christian needs to provide a positive reference. Marcus has a family. David. Marcus had opportunities for corrective action. He chose resignation. I can't revise history. Third attempt, direct letter to my old address, forwarded by the building management. The letter was 4 pages, self-pitying, blamed me for overreaction and using my position unfairly. One line stood out. If you had just told me who you were, I would have treated you differently. That sentence confirmed everything. Respect dependent on status. Kindness conditional on power. I didn't respond. Rebecca told me during her visit that Marcus had sent her similar letters. He says you destroyed our marriage. What do you think? She was quiet for a long time. I think you showed me who he was. I didn't want to see it before. He sent her 41 texts. She blocked him on 42. One thing never came. The divorce proceedings took 4 months. Marcus contested initially, hired an aggressive attorney, tried to claim emotional distress from my interference. The prenup was clear. Married 19 months. Separate assets. Marcus's attorney pushed anyway. Mrs. Montgomery's father created hostile work environment. Client suffered career damage, entitled to compensation. The judge reviewed evidence, video footage, documentation, timeline. Mr. Montgomery's career consequences appear to result from his own behavior and choices. Motion denied. Settlement, clean split. Marcus kept his Audi, his condo, both mortgaged heavily. Rebecca kept her dignity. The final hearing was December 12th. Marcus attended. I didn't. Intentionally. Rebecca told me later. He looked small. I don't know what I saw in him. You saw potential. That's not wrong. He chose not to reach it. She was attending therapy, processing, learning about boundaries and red flags she'd missed. She learned about the trust, initially angry. You should have told me. You wouldn't have believed me. You had to see. You manipulated the situation. I created a test. He failed on his own. Every insult, every dismissive comment, those were his choices. She thought about that. The trust, that's why he can't touch any of it? That's why. You're protected. Always. Gradual acceptance, painful, real. She started dating someone new a year later. Mentioned him carefully during a phone call. His name is Tom. He's a mechanic. Works at the shop near my office. What's he like? Kind. He asked about my day. Really listened. Asked about you, too. Where you're from, what you like. I'd like to meet him. Yeah, me too. The divorce finalized in December. She called me Christmas morning. One thing never came. Marcus never apologized. Not directly. He sent one letter through his attorney, 6 weeks after the divorce. Linda forwarded it. I read it once. The tone was self-justifying. Blamed me for overreaction to harmless family dynamics. You ruined my career over a misunderstanding. If you'd simply identified yourself, none of this would have happened. I would have treated you with appropriate respect. Appropriate respect? Conditional. Status dependent. That phrase crystallized everything. Rebecca received her own letter. More manipulative. Your father orchestrated our divorce. He couldn't accept someone from a different background. Old money prejudice. She didn't respond. Sent me a copy. He still doesn't get it, she said. He thinks this is about class or money. It's about character. It was always about character. David reported Marcus was fired from Calmont Partners 18 months after starting. Performance issues, conflicts with senior staff. Last I heard, he was working in insurance sales. Different city, different industry. I told David, I hope he finds peace, away from us. No satisfaction in his downfall, just closure. You can't force people to grow. You can only protect yourself from their stagnation. Rebecca came to terms with it slowly. I'm angry I wasted 19 months, but I learned. What did you learn? How people treat waiters, janitors, anyone they think is beneath them. That's who they really are. Your mother would be proud of you. I think about her a lot. What she'd say about all this? She'd say you're brave. You chose truth over comfort. Rebecca smiled, sad but real. I kept only one thing from that day. What's that? But I already knew what I kept. My desk in Wilmington is simple. Wood, one drawer, faces the window overlooking the garden. Inside that drawer, visitor badge from April 18th. White plastic, printed name, guest. Badge number 5953. Date stamp November 14th. Wait, no, April 18th, 2020. Oh, 2024. Expiration 5:00 p.m. same day. I keep it as the only memento from that day. Rebecca saw it during her third visit. Picked it up, turned it over. You kept this? It reminds me. Of what? That I was a guest in my own building. I chose that. She set it down carefully. That's the day you became just my dad again. That's the day I chose you over pride. The badge sits in my drawer. I take it out sometimes. Hold it. Remember, the plastic is cool to touch. The printed letters are fading. Through the window, I hear ocean waves. Was the test ethical? I still ask myself. The answer, imperfect, but protective. Would I do it again? Yes, maybe differently, but yes, I wish I'd been wrong about him. Power is temporary, character is permanent. I spent 32 years building a firm, but the thing I'm proudest of is teaching Rebecca to value what matters. It took losing her husband for her to see it. That's painful, but she sees it now. She visits once a month. We're rebuilding trust. Her therapy is helping. Her new relationship is healthier. She used part of the trust to open her own practice. Therapy services for domestic violence survivors. She's helping people, real people. That's Ellen's legacy, and mine. I see her next week. We're going fishing. 19 months have passed since the lobby. I wake at dawn, walk the beach, teach 12 adults to read now. Carlos brought 3 friends. My garden produces more tomatoes than I can eat. I share with neighbors. Margaret Sullivan from the bookstore and Thomas Garrett from the pier have become real friends. We have dinner every Thursday. Neither knows about Brennan and Harris. They know me as Christian, retired consultant, decent guy. That's enough. David visits twice a year. The firm is thriving. He doesn't need me. My legacy isn't titles or buildings. It's values lived, boundaries maintained, love expressed through protection, not control. Rebecca is stronger now, better judgment, clearer boundaries. Last month she brought Tom to meet me. He's 38. Mechanic, owns his shop, kind eyes, calloused hands. He asked about my life genuinely. Rebecca says you worked in finance? Long time ago, different life. Must have some stories. A few. He treated the waitress with respect, said thank you, left a generous tip without making a show of it. After they left, Rebecca texted, "So?" I wrote back, "He's good, real." "Yeah, he is. I'm happy for you." I learned from the best mistake. I keep 2 sentences written on a card on my desk. Respect isn't given, it's recognized. And when it's absent, no title can manufacture it. This morning, Rebecca called. "Dad, can I come down next weekend? I want to talk to you about something." "Of course. Everything okay?" "Yeah, really okay. I want to tell you in person. We'll walk on the beach. Maybe fish off Thomas's boat. Talk. She's building a life that matters. That's all I ever wanted. I don't regret the test. I regret it was necessary."